Okay.
Okay. Hi.
What is your name?
My name's Paige Watson, and I have been volunteering with Meals on Wheels for a while, and Tipsy joined me along the way. Didn't you, Tip? Tipsy loves to do Meals on Wheels. She gets treats every time she goes. So we've been doing Meals on Wheels since 2016. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. I started with Meals on Wheels when my dad was sick, and he lives in a different city than I do. So it was a way for me to know that he was getting nutritious meals at least once a day, and also that he was being checked on. So that's one thing that Meals on Wheels does, is it's not just about getting people food, but it's about having someone check in on them every day of the week. So there's a point of contact. So I used Meals on Wheels before he passed, and then I started doing Meals on Wheels in about 2016.
Okay. Why do you keep doing it?
I keep doing it because they give back to me just as much as I give to them. The energy that they bring into my day, they love seeing Tipsy, and it gets us out of the house. And I actually recently had chemo over the summer, so I had to take a break from doing it. And so it gave me something to get myself out of the house. When I started getting back to my routine and things, it was part of getting me back to my normal life. So as much as it is a part of theirs, I saw how it helped me get back into my routine and find, I just slammed the microphone.
Okay.
Sorry. But it helped me get back to my routine and see what I was worth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Questions?
Tipsy, you deserted me.
How many people a week do you see?
I see the same people for the most part. Sometimes they go on long holds, sometimes they go on short holds, but I'll deliver to about 12 to 13 people a week. And they're all kind of in the same general location. So it's easy to do for someone who maybe just has a lunch break and they want to give back. If you work a full-time job, you can still go take your lunch break and go do it in an hour and be done. So doesn't take so much out of your day that you feel like it's an inconvenience for you.
What has been your favorite part?
Oh, well, I treat my patrons a little bit differently than some people do. Like today when we went on our trip, I make sure all the women get flowers on their birthday, and if it's not on their birthday, it's their birthday week. I usually try to do their birthday week. So I think all women should get flowers on their birthday. I hate flowers personally, just because I think they die too quickly. But I think a lot of women love them. So I make sure they get a special treat that they like and flowers on their birthday. And then for the men, they just like to get a special treat and, flirt with the young girls. They think I'm young. Okay. And then I have certain clients who aren't even my clients anymore, who I create a bond with. And so I still go and take them out to lunch. Maybe once a month or so. I'll make sure I go and check on them and stuff like that. So,
how do people become clients?
Well, it depends. Sometimes it depends on if it's I guess it's all the same. But if it's a locally owned or locally a private Meals on Wheels, it's run differently, sort of, than a government run Meals on Wheels. So for our particular Meals on Wheels, it is privately run. And you can be someone who's simply having surgery, or you just don't have family nearby. You can be 28 years old and have surgery and need meals for 2 weeks, and you can apply. Or you can be, of course, the elderly who need, or you can be a family member of an elderly person who you want to be checked on, whether they eat it or not. It's just nice to know someone is going by there and and checking on your family member. So,
Would you say the clients are usually super excited to see you?
Sometimes it depends on the client. Some clients open that door a crack, they take their food and they shut that door. I usually stop when I get a new client. I usually say, "Hey, when's your birthday?" They want to talk about their birthday. Again, because I like to bring them special treats, so I make sure I find out, what's the special treat that you like to, if you were going to bed at night and you want that one last treat, what would you grab for? And so, and then I bring Tipsy with me. So they're excited to see Tipsy more than they're excited to see me. They don't know my name, but they know Tipsy's name. And so I'd say some are real excited to see me and some are just like, I serve a purpose, and that's it. It just depends on them. And we try to respect what they want out of it. Mm-hmm. I want them to get out of it what they want out of it. But some are very private, and they don't want you in their space. And some are very open, and they want you to come in and sit with them and chat. And I'm open to do both, depending on my day and their day. Mm-hmm. So it just depends on the client.
This is going to sound... She doesn't hear my
That's
questions. Fine. But, like, basically the saddest situation you've seen, like, or, like, the most common sad situation you see, I guess, like, the elderly, is that the hardest, or is it when someone's super sick?
I think the saddest situation that I've seen is actually kind of most recent. Is my client is not my client anymore. And I went over on Valentine's. That's what I remember, it was Valentine's. And I brought him a special treat. And I just went in and noticed that no one was checking on him. Like, they're bringing him food, and I'm not talking about the Meals on Wheels people. I am talking about, like, his family. I was like, do you not have family that lives close by? Because he still had Christmas presents that were wrapped on on the couch. And so I sat with him. I cleaned his apartment, went through his food, got rid of all the old food that was out of date, and cleaned his couch so he could have people sit down on his couch and visit with him. It was more inviting to anyone who might come. They might want to stay a little longer. And opened we had Christmas at Valentine's. So we opened his Christmas presents and tried on his shoes that he got. They were too small, but oh well. So we had a good time, and I spent about an hour and a half. So I just feel like sometimes I think, as much as it's used as a way to check on your family, I feel like some people use it as a way for them not to check on their family. So I find that sad, but I feel like I bring a little joy to their day, and that's all I can do.
Definitely.
I'm just repeating your question so that it...
Yes,
so
like, can
right.
set it up, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to anyway, if I remember.
Yeah. Okay.
This month is Volunteer Appreciation Month at Meals on Wheels, and you do create a community. So with them, even though you only see them for like 20 minutes when you're picking up your food, but you create that community. They love to see Tipsy, of course. They, of course, know Tipsy's name, but that's got them, knowing me as well. And when I took my time off for my chemo, they were very in tune to that. They sent me a card. So there is definitely a community there. I found one of the guys who, Griffin, sweet guy, young guy, he loves Tipsy. His cat died, and he was telling me about it. And so I called to find out what his cat's name was. And they were like, I don't know why. And I said, well, his cat died, and I just want to do something special for his cat. And she was like, his cat died? So they, it's a community that we build, and that they can build on their end. They don't ask questions like I do. I like to celebrate the people that I help volunteer for us. But I can't tell you how many times they've given treats to Tipsy, and then I just drove away without the food. So that's happened a couple of times. They could just yell, Paige! And I just went back around. I just went, oh, sorry. I got so excited. Tipsy gets her treats, and so we head on out. But they do, they really do have a great community. I'm able to call at any point in time and just say, hey, I checked on this client. and no one came to the door. Now they have an app that we use. And our app is very helpful because it gives more up to date than the printed sheets. But you automatically put whether you delivered or you didn't deliver, and that lets them know through their automated system that they need to check on the client as well. So if we don't deliver, then they know it's an automatic check on the client. So not only is it us checking on the client, but it's a double system of them checking on the client.
How do they prepare the food? Like, who cooks it? When do they cook it?
Well, they prepare the food. Well, we don't prepare the food, but they do have volunteers who prepare the food. So they'll have a certain group. Sometimes it's an entire company, and that's their way of giving back to the community. So the entire company will come in from like 6 in the morning until like 9 in the morning. And then you can pick up at 10. So a company will come in typically, and the entire company is back there preparing the food and then sealing the food. And then also companies will do it as a delivery service as well. And then they also have drivers that they pay. So if someone is not available to deliver to a certain area, then those drivers will take the food to them. But most everything's done by volunteers.
I was gonna ask how like they stay open, but I don't know if that'll be interesting enough. I guess it would actually. Like,
Well, yeah, because we have they have a ball every year. So it's a fundraiser that they have every year, and that's where a lot of the money comes in to fund Meals on Wheels. Again, I was talking earlier about Meals on Wheels could be more of a government run or privately run, and I think the Meals on Wheels of Greenville County is maybe 10% run with government funds. So 90% of that is all local money that's coming in through fundraisers and just general donations. And they try to really be smart about people donate used paper, and they'll print the report on the back side of the paper. So they're conscientious about that as well. So they're really able to take many kinds of donations and utilize that for good.
Do you have like an estimate on how many meals are delivered?
Oh gosh, I do not have any idea how many. Katrina would know that.
Katrina would? It's
Yeah.
probably
Oh,
on the
yeah.
website. Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
It might be on the website.
How long do you think it's been?
I think that Meals on Wheels is very versatile in the way that they work with their volunteers. I think that before COVID happened, we walked in, we had our bags, we filled our bags, we were given the forms, and then we did the filling in of our coolers, so made sure that we had the right amount of food and everything. And then COVID came, and so then they set up an outside tent, and then we would drive up, and then they would get our name, and they had a completely different system. So they changed the way they do it, and they haven't gone backwards. So now they come to the car, grab your coolers, fill those up, give you all your necessary things that you need, and then they're able to tell you whether there's a birthday that week or what have you. But and then also recently they've kind of had, since COVID, since coming back from COVID, they haven't had as many volunteers, and who knows why that is. But it's just so then now they're doing, instead of a fresh meal every day, they do a fresh and a frozen every day. And so that way the client is still getting a fresh meal and a different meal the next day. So we're able to deliver 2 meals in one day. So then we're only utilizing volunteers 3 days out of the week. And so they can concentrate their other volunteers. Maybe those other volunteers are now cooking. So they can focus volunteers in a better way for them to be able to use people in their best.
So does everyone volunteer Monday, Wednesday, and Friday?
Yeah. Well, I think that not everyone volunteers Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think that they have someone in the kitchen every day cooking. But as far as, but I could be wrong on that. But all deliveries are done Monday, Wednesday, Friday now. And then if there's a holiday, they will also deliver an extra meal on the Friday for that Monday. Typically, holidays run on a Monday. So they will deliver 2 meals on Friday as well for covering that holiday. I started in 2016 because I felt like it was a time when people weren't thinking of others. And it was more a time of me and how does everything affect me. As far as, just there was a turmoil in the United States when I started. And so this was my way of taking control back a little bit. And putting some positivity out in the world as opposed to just being bombarded with negativity all around me. And so this was my way of taking a positive step in my day and stepping outside of myself and putting myself in someone else's shoes. And I feel like it has helped me do that. And I can bring joy to someone's day, and they can bring joy to mine because I've gotten a lot out of it. And I really didn't know that I was going to get as much out of it as I have. I feel like it's given me just as much as I've given. It's so easy to work with the system that they have. They have an app, and the app, you can do it 2 ways. One, they have the paper, and you will get that every time, and it tells you exactly what they're getting. They can be getting minced if they have special issues with their food, their diet, things like that is on paper. But they also have an app that we are able to use. They started doing that in 2018. And they only ask if you're comfortable doing it. Would you mind using the app? And I don't mind. So it's an easy way for me to go online. I check it off as I go. It has a map and a directions addition to the app. So if I get lost or if I have a new client, I can easily press that and it sends me straight to them. If I have a question, I can call the client. Sometimes I have to call prior to delivering, just giving them time to get to the door. So we have specific instructions. And so this just, it gives us the ability to work better with the client that we have. In other words, if it says knock loud and give time to come to the door, that way you don't continuously knock, which can stress someone out. So working with the app is an easy way for us to be able to get quick information and updated information.
And I presume you're a busy woman. How often, would you say it takes a lot of time out of your day, or how long does it usually take you in a day?
It usually only takes about an hour, but I do have clients that want to sit and chat. So if I have the time, and I'm not in between appointments, or I usually take Mondays off because I work 2 part-time jobs, and they know that that's important for me, is volunteering. And it's actually important for them as well. So they like for their employees to volunteer. So I usually take Mondays off, and it's not usually an issue. But if I have an appointment that I have to make or a luncheon that I'm headed towards, I just will tell the clients, I don't have time to sit and chat today, but I will be back, and I make sure I make the time the next time I go.
Do you have any clients that you've been seeing for a long time?
I do. I have at least 3 that I still see out of my 12 that I've had for a long time. I have had some pass, and it's sad, but the families invite me to the funerals, and I just feel like it's a part of who I am, and they're a part of me. So occasionally they will switch up your delivery area. They'll, depending on the growth of the area, they may pull someone out of your delivery, and they know I do not care for that. So they don't do that to me very often because I get very upset if I lose my people because they know those are my people. So they try not to do that to me too much.